Hello people, Joshino here. Today I'm going to answer the question, is the NS-11C the best weapon for improving your aim? And also covering the weapon as a whole, as well as how to use it. So first of all, stats wise, the NS-11C is not immediately appealing. It has a slow rate of fire and an average damage. However, what you sacrifice in raw power, you gain in control. The NS-11C has very little recoil, and this is to me what makes the weapon special. It makes it very easy to train your targets and keep your damage sustained. The extra 5 bullets, 35 in each magazine, also supplements this. On the receiving end of this weapon, you feel helpless due to the constant distortion of your screen, and finally death. Really though, what makes a weapon so potent is the ease at which you can get headshots, and furthermore easily trace people and continuously headshot them. For me, this all forces you to get into a good habit with your aim, and definitely improve mine, through going for and sustaining headshots and sustaining your fire in general. Getting used to this sustained damage is important when we consider that Planetside 2 for the most part relies on persistent fire rather than twitch shooting seen in games like Counter-Strike. This sort of aiming is really useful, especially when you're facing multiple enemies and you need to go from one target to another almost instantaneously. With the NS-11C, keeping to horizontal patterns from one person's head to another can be really effective. So on the ground, everyone will usually be level, and it is useful to mentally draw horizontal lines at head height and learn to keep your fire to the horizontal pattern. This is especially useful to note whilst hip firing and at closer ranges. The default carbines for each faction, the Solstice V3, Mercenary and Track 5 also have a similar profile of being easy to control. I think it was a good move to make the starting weapons this way, although they are not quite as clinical as the NS-11C and gain rate of fire in place of extreme control. The NS-11C is a close to mid-range weapon, but to be competitive in close quarters you need to be really quite conscious of your aiming and keep up with the headshots. Also, as a light assault it is always advised to get the drop on your enemy, and with the NS-11C it will be hard to react as they will be constantly being hit. The reload is also fairly low, so you'll be able to continue shooting fairly seamlessly. At mid-ranges, aiming down sights you'll be very competitive, and you should be able to take out more than one enemy in a magazine if controlled. The extra 5 bullets also give you a bit more longevity in that regard. At longer ranges, the fairly low bullet velocity can feel like a bit of a hamper. However, as this weapon is very controllable, you're able to concentrate fire fairly well with minimal bursting even at longer ranges, and I've found it to be fairly effective. But it isn't its strong point. One big advantage of all nanite systems, or NS weapons, is that they share a common sound profile, meaning that you'll not be identified by the pulses of Varna weapons, the deep tones of the NC's arsenal, or the tapping sounds of the TR guns. Furthermore, this especially benefits the Varnu because their weapon sounds are the most unique and identifiable in a fight. Because of this sound profile, I would up and above suggest the flash suppressor over the suppressor. It keeps your sound unidentifiable even without the need to lower your firing volume. I have also ran it up to Araxium with the laser sight. I tried the forward grip, but didn't feel it gave much of an advantage over its already easy to control recoil, whereas the laser sight makes it a viable weapon to hip fire at closer ranges. Something to note is that this weapon costs 1000 certs and 700 station cash at the top band, although the cash sacrifice will unlock it on all of your characters, and it could be something to come back to on each faction you play. So in conclusion, if you want to force yourself into a good aiming habit, I would suggest trying out the NS-11C, which is extremely controlled and really rewards you taking advantage of that control and becoming very conscious of your aiming. Also, if you're a person that values control over raw power, this might be the weapon for you. Thanks for watching everyone, Joshino.